didn't know it then, but that was the last normal day of my life.
You have no idea what's going on.
Everything's going just fine. Who are you?
That's a long story.
What do you say? Judge me only by the facts. I will tell you the whole story, if you are willing to listen. And this is my tale.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Hello, cheers. So once again here we are, once again against my will, but we all have bosses here and everywhere else, at least the other places that I know, Asia. So I'm here to talk to you about a few things. I hope it will help understand and connect some dots, understand the big picture, you know, a few more brush strokes. I hope it help you connect more dots. Anyway, so today we're here to talk about the sun, in a way. As you know from previous videos, the goddess sent the Anunnaki here to find out, because she can't be everywhere. She has a lot of places to go, to do. Even more important than what is going on here, believe it or not. This is not the Earth is not the center of the universe. People like to think so, but it's not. There's more important things going on. That if those things don't work out fine, you can just forget about recharging your cell phone next week. Not everything is centered on Earth and what's going on here. There's a lot of other stuff going on in many other places, much bigger or more important, at least for the big, huge picture right now. For people on Earth, this is the most important thing. It's their lives. But if you look at the big picture, Earth is a brush stroke within a brush stroke within another brush stroke. Anyway, so she delegates. She sent the Anunnaki to figure out what's going on here, to have a look. What was happening with humans? They weren't developing as expected. So the first thing the Anunnaki did when they got here, they realized a few things that were wrong. And the first thing they did was to introduce humans to agriculture. Humans did not know anything about agriculture. You know, like I told you previously, humans have to be taught from the get-go. Otherwise they don't put two and two together. Once they're taught, they learn fast, really fast, faster than most races I've heard about. But if they're not taught, stagnation. Want an example? Grab a puppy, a dog, a puppy, put him in an empty room, nothing there. For the next 10 years, give him just food and water. Go there 10 years later. The dog will be a bit messed up, probably aggressive, you know, especially if you're not the one that gives him food every day. But he'll adapt to that environment, because that's the only reality he knows. He'll adapt to it. He'll sleep, try to find a fly to fight. He'll adapt. He's not going to be like a normal dog that's in a pack or walking the street or used to humans. It's not going to be dog, but he will adapt You'll be halfway a normal dog. Now you put a human baby in an empty room and do the same for 10 years, just give him water and food, and you'll see, go there after 10 years, open the door and check it out, what's in there. It's not gonna be pretty. The human baby will not adapt. It'll just go downhill. 10 years later is worse than on the day he was born. They will not learn. The human baby will not learn. Being left alone for 10 years, will not learn. Will go kaput. Done. That's why I say humans, they're not fast at putting two and two together. But once they're taught, they do learn fast. They need a lot of social surroundings in order to move ahead. Anyway, so the Anunnaki, the first thing that they did was introduce humans to agriculture, because they were there running around searching for rodents all day long. They were bigger animals and they tried to avoid those, so they stuck to small rodents, small animals, whatever they could catch, and that was all day long, because they reproduced. They had little human kids too. They had to feed everybody, and it wasn't like today. Women were hunting with the men just like the men. Yes, everybody together. Anyway, so in order to take them to stop that lifestyle, which occupied the entire day, take them out of the sun so much, they introduced them to agriculture. Not only that, but so that they could take care of themselves, they could feed themselves. Because in the days, you know, you don't need to spend all day in the sun to put some seeds and some water, take care of it and wait. You were still eating rodents and stuff. But once it picked up, it wasn't overnight, it took, you know, a couple of years, wasn't long. They didn't have to spend a lot of time under the sun. And soon after, you know, because I said they put two and two together, they start putting those rodents in cages. Then they had meat too. Didn't have to, right there, didn't have to go walk 20 miles a day in the sun to get some gopher. Anyway, so that changed the human's lifestyle right there. Didn't have to spend all day in the sun. They had more free time. So that was the first part of the plan. Teach them how to feed themselves, how to take care of themselves without having to be all day running around. Give them more free time so that they could start doing other things other than just survival. And take them out of the sun so much. Once that was done, what was the next thing? Next thing was to introduce them to the written word, the alphabet, everything, so that they could start reading and talking. Because before they had kind of a, let's call it, primitive way of communicating, so they introduced them. The Anunnaki introduced them to language, to a language, and to the written word. And I'll get to it. Why? Or maybe I should do it right away. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, yeah, sorry I didn't write any notes today, so I'm kinda lost. I'm just here talking about what I know. This is not my opinion or my belief. This is what I know. You choose if you believe it or not, or if you now know or not. Anyway, because people sometimes send me message like, hey Dante, the things that you're publishing, you know, this information on you publish it on the channel, is that just your opinion, No, my friends, my opinions, I keep it to myself. And you would not like me if I tell you all my opinions. Or maybe like me more, I don't know. I don't know. But no, these are not my opinions. My opinions I keep to myself and two or three more people that are close to me. So, where was I? Yes, so what was the purpose of taking the humans out of the sun so much? Well, your brain, people's brain, humans' brains are like a computer. You have a computer. The computer, to run everything that you want, needs software. You download software, you buy software. Otherwise, if you don't have the right software, you cannot watch a video, or you cannot listen to music, or edit photos. Computer has software, and it has the hardware too, where the memory is stored and all that stuff. The brain is very much like that. It has a lot of software, and then it has hardware. The most important part of a human's brain's hardware is the pineal gland. It's the most important part. The pineal gland, sorry for using these modern terms, but so that everybody understands, I'm not too complicated here. The pineal gland is like the cell phone to your soul. Like you use your cell phone to connect with the world, with your friends. The pineal gland is like the cell phone to your soul. That's how everything's connected. How your brain talks to your soul, connects. And everything at all, everything's connected. Body, spirit, everything. The pineal gland is like, it's that part that's directly connected to your soul. So, what happens to the pineal gland when you spend too much time in the sun? It starts literally shrinking, dying, loses part of its functions. The sun, contrary to popular belief, well, it's only good, and some more people know this, but I'll explain that soon. The sun has a really bad effect on the pineal gland. The more time you spend in the sun, the more messed up your pineal gland is, and the more messed up your pineal gland is, the more messed up your connection to the soul, if you want to call it that, is. You start losing the bars on the cell phone. Like the cell phone has bars, or the computer here. See how much you have a big connection to the internet, or not. Same thing. The more time you spend in the sun, less bars you get. So that's good. For example, for the Vlash that don't want you to think too much, to be connected to your spiritual side, to your soul too much. Not that the Vlash were doing that at the time. They weren't even involved in this story at the time. That came later. But that's one of the things that the Anunnaki noticed right away. These guys are spending too much time in the sun. The pineal gland is messed up, and that's one of the reasons they're not progressing. One, not all, but today it's about that. So that was the first thing. They introduced them to many things, even to hats. At least if you'll be outside, you wear a hat. Not all the time. Like I said, some sun is enough. It is good. Direct sunlight outside, it's good. but not more than 1-2 hours a day. If you have to be outside for more than 2 hours a day, you should wear a hat or try to stay in the shade or something. Anyway, so this I could go on and on and on and on and on and on, century after century, but there's no time for that. Fast forward a few thousand years and here we are. Why did the Anunnaki introduce people to the written word? And this is one of the things that I tell people to do, is to read a lot. Because when you're watching TV, only a part of your brain is working. You know, you hear, you watch, but that's not enough. Those are the most primary ways that your brain has to keep working, is to see, to hear. And the TV, it's so intense because all those images, that doesn't give you time to think about anything else. You're just focused on what's happening on the screen and listening. Your brain is just pretty much processing what's coming every second, every tenth of a second, every 1,000th of a second. There's all these new images, more things. Your brain doesn't have time to process what it's seeing or listening, because it happens so fast. Same thing with video games. You know? Everything is right there happening so fast, your brain doesn't have time. So, if it doesn't have time to process, it gets messed up. It's like putting a lot of stuff in the computer. If you download, 1,000 different files a day per day in your computer, things are gonna get messed up. Same thing with the brain. So much TV, so much video games. Your brain doesn't have time to process everything. It's messed up. Everything there is there out of place. A mess. And that's why I say reading. Because reading, not only it's calming, but gives your brain the opportunity to process the information calmly, like it should be. Try to live your life as calmly in all aspects as you can. It's hard, but you can do a lot better than what you're doing. When you're reading, you're also imagining, you're processing the information, you're reading the words. Both sides of your brain are working. Your logical side, your artistic side. You're reading, you're imagining, you're listening to the sounds around you, but not like the TV, so intense, or video game. Your brain is calmly and wonderfully working. So that was another thing that the Anunnaki did that helps humans develop even more. Give them the written word and the spoken word. And that's why the Vlash introduced the TV, for example. They didn't control it a little bit afterwards, but once it existed, it existed. It cannot be taken away. But they introduced that. Because why? Because if you go look at those other videos, they introduced the machinery, the Industrial Revolution, the machinery. You must start putting two and two together and suddenly start getting too smart, coming up with some freaky ideas, fighting each other even more. Once they start getting too smart, too fast, with the wrong tools in their hands, the Vlash introduced TV. No more reading. It's not that that will change humanity, but there's a million different things introduced at the same time. You just don't realize it. One of them was TV. So that you stop thinking so much, stop reading, stop that brain to develop at the rate that it should, normally, naturally. So mess up people's brains, mess it up. Put the TV. Everybody got addicted to TV. It's handy. It's right in front of you. First thing you turn when you get in the house, you spend hours watching this and this and that. TV. And then, of course, other things. I don't have to explain everything. Now, that messes up the pineal gland too. Everything's connected. So, in the 1980s came another nail in the coffin. This multi-trillion industry that we know these days, that this outdoors activities, this outdoor industry, multi-trillion-dollar industry, which is it's a very strong industry, especially in vast controlled, partially or completely controlled, like USA, Canada, Australia, European Union, and other countries that are not in the European Union but in the area. The outdoor industry, the outdoors, it's very strong. Why? Well, because you're outdoors. Messes up your pineal gland. The more time you're outdoors in the sun, messes up your pineal gland. If it messes up your pineal gland, messes up your computer. You're not working correctly anymore. You're not thinking correctly. You think you are because you're doing exercise. You're jogging in the sun, hat or no hat. But I'll get there. You think they put this thing in your minds, and it all started strongly in the States with Jane Fonda. She was the wife of Tina Turner, who created CNN. Think, and many other, Hollywood stars that started their jogging and all that movement, being outdoors, doing exercises at the beach, right in the sun, yoga on top of a mountain, and all that stuff that you do these days, running marathons. Let me tell you something, my friends. The human body was not made to run 40 kilometers in one take. Okay, stop damaging your body. Jog if you want, 5 kilometers and then have a shower and do something else. 40 kilometers, jogging every day, 10 kilometers, that's insane. Okay, unless you have to run for your life or you're on fire, you don't have to run 40 kilometers. That's insane. Your body, your bones, your muscles, your tendons are messed up. Many people that I know that do a lot of exercise, and they go in marathons or they go 20k, half marathons and all that all the time. They think they're very healthy. They look like crap. By the time they're 40, they're full of wrinkles, oh my knees, and they have problems, and they're going to the chiropractic and all that. Like, I thought you were supposed to be this healthy guy, running every day, eating salad every day and nothing else, and doing all these things, drinking 3 liters of water a day and all that stuff. How come you have to go to the chiropractic every week? How come you have these headaches? How come you have this? You have all these problems, and your back hurts. Of course your back hurts and you have all messed up. You're running almost every day. The human body was not made to run that much. In fact, nobody of any race that I've heard about was made to run. Anyway, but these people, think that by being outdoors running and doing all this stuff, they're healthier. They're not. Most of them, they die from normal diseases like everybody else, either cancer or anywhere. They have diabetes like everybody else. Nothing. For the contrary, they're usually even worse. The only thing that is good for them is because usually when they take on this lifestyle, they don't smoke, don't drink as much, or don't drink at all, so they have that working in their favor. But other than that, that's it. Anyway, And don't even get me started with cigarettes and stuff. You know, back in 2004 I stopped smoking. I gave up smoking. You know, the worst 20 minutes of my life. But that it's another story. Anyway, so where was I? So this multi-trillion-dollar industry that exists these days, this outdoors, stores everywhere. You know, you go to any store, they sell you the stuff to go out and run and all this stuff. Million different types of runners. I don't know why you need so many different runners. You know. Sign of the times. Don't even get me started. Anyway, so how this is connected here these days, so that you see how messed up this is. So you have this outdoors industry. Who is creating these outfits, these shorts, these shirts, these hats, everything you wear when you go out and jog in the wild or in the city or wherever you go? Well, the chemical companies, which are connected to the oil companies. The chemical companies develop products, which, from lots of them, from oil products, the chemical companies develop these fabrics, these plastics, these things that in turn are made into shirts, t-shirts, shorts, runners. So there's a connection: oil industry, chemical companies producing these materials, these fabrics, these things, which supply the outdoors industry. And then you stay outdoors too much, not only messes up your pineal gland, which is the main point, but also your skin is in contact with the sun. Because you've seen them jogging in the summer, you know, like a sleeveless shirt and mini shorts, and you're in the sun there running, doing your crazy thing in the sun, running, jogging, getting all healthy. So you ended up, you know, getting skin cancer or other diseases. Not all skin cancer. There's many people that have other skin diseases without being cancer. So who enters? Enters the pharmaceutical companies, which sell you the cream to stay protected from the sun. You didn't have to buy cream to be protected in the sun if you weren't there in the first place. But you were put there by Hollywood stars and all these people that look so healthy on TV back in the 80s and started all this thing. Of course, all these people were put there by the flash. So that, number one, your pineal gland will be affected. Try to keep it under control as much as possible. One thing among many. Just talking about the pineal gland today. So they put it there. So that's one thing. So that your pineal gland slows down in the activity. It slows down or regresses. Depends how much time you spend in the sun. And another thing, because we're not talking about stupid people here, stupid beings. Another thing was creating industries, creating these industries that you don't need. You know, there's no need for a multi-trillion-dollar outdoors activity thing. You know, all these different kinds of shorts, and also you only need a pair of shorts and a t-shirt that you can buy for a couple of bucks somewhere. But they sell all these fabrics that doesn't make you sweat, and this and there's a bunch of yeah. Anyway, so now you have these industries growing at a level that's almost surreal, also applied by the oil industry. Then you have these chemical companies producing all these, coming up with all these new products, and the pharmaceutical companies, big boom after the 80s, and this outdoor industry, and everything growing. And that money goes where? Well, money, they pay huge taxes to the governments, and those governments are controlled by Flash and Flash hybrids, same thing. So they create these huge industries. They have more income. What for? You know, a few things, you know, to pay hybrids around the world that are doing their stuff and many other things. Mining, that's another story. So they have these huge industries. They convince the humans to use the money that they make to buy the things that they tell you you need. And the humans like, yes, we need this. This movie star has that shirt, and jogging is good, and this is good. So you're already working for them. You pay them taxes. You already pay them taxes off of your work. And then with the money that's left over, you're giving back to them again. You're giving it to them with all these things. Many different ones, but talking about this outdoor and the sun and all that. So you just keep working and give the money back to them. What it's not in taxes, you just take it out of your wallet and here, there you go. Thank you. And now I'm gonna go outside, mess up my pineal gland, get skin cancer, and then I'll buy products from your pharmaceutical companies to take care of these skin problems that I have that you gave me by telling me to be outside. So a lot of this money, you know, also used to continue dividing humans, causing wars, because all these things take money. You need money to pay people. You need money to buy, to create weapons, to produce weapons. You need money to everything. That's how the system was set up. No, it wasn't how the system was set up, it's how the system became. But that, don't get me started. Anyway, so the whole thing is just mind-boggling, you know, how everything is connected. But there you have it, how the outdoor industry is connected to everything. I bet you never thought that how the outdoor industry, out jogging for a few miles a day, was connected to the oil industry. And it's all connected. Everything, don't think it's not, it is. This is not my opinion. This is just one tiny brush stroke of the big picture. The oil industry, chemical companies, the outdoor industry, pharmaceutical companies, everything connected. And other industries, you know, that are directly or indirectly related to this. So the more time you spend out there in the sun wearing the products that they made for you, and you think you're protected, you're not protected at all. At all. All these fabrics, these nylons, all these things you don't need. You're as protected with those special against UV rays things you buy for $150 in a specialty outdoorsy shop as you are with a $2 shirt you buy at the dollar store. No difference. Now, so avoid the sun as much as you can. A little bit of sun is good, but like most things, when it gets too much, it turns to bad. You know? If you drink a cup of water, is good. If you drink 4 liters, you die. You're drowned. Same thing, you know. A glass of wine is good. 10 bottles at one time is bad. I won't know because I stopped drinking. Surprise! Yeah. So I stopped drinking a while ago. I don't drink, which makes these videos even harder, because before I could have a lick of courage. No, I don't. I just here talking. I never enjoy these videos talking to a camera. I've always had to be pressured to do that, be on the camera and talk about this. I'm like, no. So anyway, like I was saying, stay out of the sun as much as possible. Get some sun. Rest, don't spend time there. Don't go running 40 kilometers marathons. That's crazy. Not always you're always in the sun for how long, but you're dehydrating. Bad for the gland too, and you're hurting yourself because your body is not made to run. Your body, like it is, was made to take care of yourself. That's why you have 2 legs, 2 arms, so that you can do the things you need to live, to function. This was not the reason these exist, was not to throw weights. The legs were not made to run 40 kilometers. This is so that you can walk, get to places, and this so that you can do what you have to do. Not to be there for 5 hours lifting weights. That's insane. And above all, you got this so that you can move ahead sometime. So I think I covered everything that I had to talk about. Maybe not. Like I said, I didn't take any notes. I have other things to do. I'm sure there's something I forgot. Well, if I did, I did. I'm sure I'll have more opportunities. So that's it for today. I'm gonna leave, but on the video now you're gonna see some exercises. I'm gonna leave some exercises, not about the sun. For this you only need to remember what I said. Exercises for 2 things. Exercises for unaware hybrids, and exercises that will help you remember past lives. Reincarnation is at the center of everything. So I'm going to leave you with some exercises, simple things to start. Don't want to scare anyone off. These are things that I know work, but depends on the person. For some people, a few sessions of this and they start remembering things. For others it takes weeks or months, but anyway, it's not gonna hurt you. If you wanna do it, do it. If you don't, it's up to you. The difference is that like I told you in another video, Karish, for example, when they're 13, they turn 13, they remember. But Karish are not humans. They remember most of it, and what they don't, they're helped, but they remember most of their past lives. They don't come with the knowledge like if they were a doctor in the past life. They don't come out at 13 and they know everything about medicine. Those things you have to learn from the get-go. If you want to become a doctor, you have to learn. They come with a memory of what they did, what happened to them, like watching a movie on TV, on the DVD. You get the memory. The movie was made 2 years before, you buy the DVD, now you're watching something that happened 2 years before. But if the movie is about the doctor, you don't become a doctor. You have the memories, but you don't have the knowledge. Karish at 13, they get the memories of past lives, all of them, but they don't get the knowledge. That would be nice, but it's not how it happens to them. Where was I? With humans, no, they don't get the knowledge, but there are ways, there are exercises that you can do that will help you get at least a little bit of it, because it's there. Everybody reincarnates, so it's there. It's just you're not at the level. I mean, humans are not at the level that it comes natural to them. There's those memories, they just show up but not yet, and I don't know if ever will. I don't know the future, but it will help. I know, because I know a lot of people that have done these kind of things and they start remembering. And how do you know if it's true or not, what they're remembering? You know, maybe they're just imagining stuff. Because there's a way to find out. And there's more than one way to find out if what you're thinking is true or not. 90% of the time that I've met with these people, it was true. And the other 10%, they were confused. And those 10% that they never got, they're tidbits of information, but not correct information 100%. But 90% of the people that I know that start doing this and took it seriously, it's not, you know, like I'm going to go on a diet and then you eat salad at 1 in the afternoon, but at 5 you're eating a cake, and then at 8 you're eating salad again. People that took this seriously and did it, they start getting everything, and then all the memories, not completely, but enough for them to have a good idea of what happened to them here and there. Depends how many lives they've lived, you know, and what they've done. Sometimes, and those memories are not always. Some people did not enjoy getting those memories. Why? Because Carishu, they remember everything. The humans, they only remember the stronger of emotions that they've lived in past lives. Only the stuff that marked them the most. Well, not all those things are positive. A lot of things are deep spiritual scars, things that happened to them or they did. And those are the first memories they get. The things that were the strongest, you know. Just like listening to a music CD, you know. The louder the instrument is, that's the thing your mind keeps when you leave, you know, and you go humming the song after you stop the CD player, and you go, you don't remember the harp of the another instrument that you barely hear on the CD because it's so low and it's so muffled by the drums and all that. You remember the drums, you remember the beat, dum, 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 dum. You don't remember that harp playing in the background you barely hear. What stays in your mind is the beat of the drums and the electric guitar. Same thing with memories from past lives. For humans, you remember the strongest things. Usually they're not that nice to remember. That's up to you. What else? That's it. So cheers, be safe. Yeah, that's it.
Я вижу, и тебе восхищение, пару слов я скажу. Пусть тебя, моя женщина, не тревожит печаль, и сегодня торжественно поднимаю бокал за глаза твои карие, за ресницы
Have faith.
The war that you see, the war that you know, the war that is going on between the two sides is not only a war about economy, a war involving the military. It's not only a war involving false flags, terrorist attacks. It's more complex than that. It is also a war over your mind, because if the other side wins your body, they will not win your mind. But if they win over your mind, they will have your body for sure. The war is at all levels. Levels that you don't see, you don't even know they exist. It's more complex than you can ever imagine. Ever. But it goes on. Every second of the day. Everything one side does, the other tries to destroy, to fight it. An example is TV, the entertainment industry, movies. The other side uses it, brainwash you and your kids and everyone with the images and the sounds and the vibrations you are aware or should be, that you see over and over in movies, video games, music videos. They do that every second of the day. Ads on the side of buses, ads, commercials on TV, everywhere. The other side does it also, but not the same way. To counterbalance what they're doing, to destroy their intents that you are aware, but 99% of the population is not. They're feeding that, all those images, into themselves, into their minds, and they're not aware. So the other side does the same, but not the same way. How it's done, it's more subtle. To balance what the other side is doing, the flash side is doing, this side does it in a more peaceful way. Might be the lights you see blinking on a Christmas tree. This time of the year there's plenty of Christmas trees everywhere, inside the mall, outside in the street. The way those lights blink are literally fighting the other things you've seen in the mall. You go to the mall, you see these images and you hear these sounds over and over again, and as you leave there may be a Christmas tree with lights blinking somewhere outside, for example, which counteracts what you just received. How it's done? Well, I've been telling you for a while, and you know these things, that flash control many companies, not only in the entertainment industry, but in all kinds of businesses, from painting companies that sell paint, make paint, to bicycle companies, whatever makes money to keep their hybrids going, to keep the finances going, so that they keep fighting. Because in this world you need money. That's how it's set up here. It's not about intentions, only about intentions. You need the source, the means, the resources to keep this going. But just like they have those sources, those resources in a much bigger scale. So there's this side. This side has companies too, from mom and pop little stores run by hybrids of this side to bigger ones which employ hundreds of people. Those companies, small, like a mom and pop store, tiny store that sells some groceries, not bigger than your living room, they are directed to put certain things on the outside, the way the lights flash. It might be in one of those stores, you know, those stores in small towns, for example, or big towns, where they leave their Christmas lights on all year long, and people walk by and say, these guys never took their Christmas tree lights off their house after Christmas. They're there for a reason, the way they blink. And not only the vibration you get from it, because sometimes are just the lights there, other times there are other things there, and not only on the small business like I was saying, but in private houses that belong to hybrids on this side. There are other things installed on the side of the house that you're not even aware. You see the lights, you comment, those guys never took their Christmas lights off after Christmas. That's for a reason. Not all of them, of course. Don't go bothering people. And not only the lights. This is just one example. There's many other things. You go into a mall that is owned by a Flash hybrid, for example, and they know what they're doing. They were told to the lighting, the intensity of the light, the sounds, where the speakers playing the music in the mall are positioned, directed, the volume, the colors of the walls, the colors of the walls in the washroom, the flooring in the washroom. You have no idea what's going on. Some of you do. But then you leave that mall and you go somewhere else, and it will be totally different. And you're not even aware. Most people, about 99% of people, are not aware that they just entered a new realm. That's why sometimes you are in a commercial place, like in a mall. Talk about malls because people go a lot to malls these days. I try to avoid them. But in a mall, people are more edgy, even violent. And then you go to a mall just 2 blocks away, and people feel calmer. And if you talk with a police officer that is aware of the crime rate in malls in the same town, they have no explanation. A mall that's just 2 blocks away, and the crime rate inside that mall, fights, aggressions, and shoplifting, and all kinds of other stuff. And people that get fired more often, and a certain mall is very high. Everybody is on edge there. And then you go to a mall that's just 2 blocks away, barely any crime rate. People don't get fired, don't start fights. Things are more calm. It's not because the stores have nicer clothes or the things you want. It's totally different. It's because one of them is run by certain creatures and the other one is not. Hard to believe? Oh, I'm sure it is. Not to me. Like I said, the war is at all levels. It's way more complex than you think. You're walking in the street, you're walking everywhere, and the war is going on. You're just not aware because there are not big explosions. TV stations are not there. You don't see it, but it's happening right there as you walk from your car to your dentist, the dentist's office. It's all around you, and above, and below, and inside. See you soon. Cheers.